friends, and welcome back to my channel. I'm so happy you're here today because I have a fall unhaul for you guys. I just dropped all the books after I took my thumbnail, so I have a little stack here and then I'll be pulling from the floor. So yeah, very quickly going through some of these. These are books that I read when I was a fantasy channel. I was very much into fantasy, high fantasy, and now not so much. It is all horror, mostly horror. And yeah, so the Broken Earth trilogy I am getting rid of. Some of these books will be on Pango and some I will be putting in the little free library, and I will link my Pango down below. I loved this trilogy. I think it's solid. I think it needs an adaptation so more people will read it, and yeah, I loved it, but I'm not going to be rereading it anytime soon, and I think the next time I will reread it, I'll do it on audio. And the next book I'm unhauling is Wilder Girls. I don't know why I said it like that. This is a sci-fi YA book, and I did enjoy it, but again, I don't think I'll be rereading this one. It is a pandemic book, and I read it during the height of the pandemic, so very fun times. The next book is Into the Drowning Deep by Mira Grant. I was talking about this book the other day on Sprints, and I was like, oh yeah, I liked this book. I enjoyed it, but again, I probably won't reread it anytime soon. If I do, I would probably do the audio. It's huge. It's a very long book. I think I gave this 3 stars, so very like, I enjoyed it. I liked aspects of it, but again, it was really long. The next book I'm getting rid of is The Girl in the Stars by Mark Lawrence. I never read this. I've had it for like 2 years, and I never read it. Again, this is a fantasy book, and even me not reading it, I heard like very meh things about it. Like this does not hold up to his Book of the Ancestor trilogy that I absolutely loved when I was reading fantasy. So yeah, I never read it. The next book is The Lighthouse Keeper's Daughter by Hazel Gaynor. I don't even know why I have this book, honestly. I found it on my entryway bookshelves, and I was like, Alex, is this yours? And he said no. So I don't know where it came from. I don't know. Maybe people are just sneaking into my house and leaving books. I don't know. But I know I'm not going to read it. The next book is Lullaby by Chuck Palahniuk. I've had this book since I was 16. This was like one of my favorite books when I was a teenager. I was very much into Chuck Palahniuk as a teenager. I was quite the little edgelord teenager. My teachers were all very worried about me reading him at such a young age. But yeah, I'm not going to reread this ever again. And the next 2 books are historical fiction books. This series is really cool, actually. I read this series after I read the Game of Thrones books. This is what the Game of Thrones is based off of, actually. This is the, oh gosh, Maurice Doran books. This is based off of the, what is it, War of the Roses. And yeah, this is translated from French, and they're actually kind of hard to find. So yeah, I can't believe I'm getting rid of these right now because I really enjoyed them, but I'm never going to reread it, honestly. The next book I'm going to get rid of is this Elizabeth I book by Rosalind Miles. This is a historical fiction book, I guess. Yeah, it's a novel. I don't know why I have this one either. I think I just have had it forever and ever, and I was like, I'm going to read that because, again, probably in my Game of Thrones phase, I was like, oh, I'm super into like actual like British history. I don't know, English history. But yeah, I won't ever read it. I just know it. If I do, I'm gonna listen to it or like listen to a podcast about it. And the next book is The Known World. I have no idea where this came from again. It just magically appears on my bookshelves in my entryway. This won a Pulitzer Prize though, and it has these cool decollages. I'm thinking it's a historical fiction book that I will never read, so I'm going to donate it. This book I'm unhauling is The Water Nymph by Paleo Vajacolope. I totally mispronounced this. This book was really popular, I think, a couple years ago. I remember it being like talked about on NPR a lot, and it's about water disappearing. It's like a climate change sci-fi book, and I never read it. It just sat on my shelves for like 7 years, and I probably won't ever read it. I'm gonna donate it, and yeah, I'm just gonna leave it in a little free library. Somebody will read it. This book is City of Girls by Elizabeth Gilbert. I read this back in summer. I did a buddy read, and this is like a historical fiction book, and I was actually surprised I read it. It was okay. It was kind of boring. It was about a woman growing up in the 40s in New York City, and like after the war, and all that fun stuff, and how she just wanted to like be a seamstress and work in the theater, and yeah, it was okay, but yeah, I'm just gonna get rid of it. Next book is The Musicians by Lee Grossman. I did enjoy this series, but again, I will not be rereading it, and I did watch like the first couple of seasons of the show, or like the first 2 seasons of the show, and I enjoyed it, but yeah, I probably won't be revisiting it anytime soon because I don't read like fantasy anymore. So the last book I'm gonna get rid of, I feel kind of bad about getting rid of it because I didn't really give it a chance at all, and that's You Suck by Christopher Moore. I see these books everywhere, like as in little free libraries and my local library, and I feel like if I wanted to read it, I can just find it again, or I would listen to the audio. I'm not going to read it physically. There's a bunch of books in the series, and I believe it's a comedy horror book about vampires. I think it's like a series of vampire books, but yeah, I'm probably never gonna read it. So I was looking at it and I was like, you can go too. So there was a little quick fall on haul. Again, some of these will be on my Pango, which will be linked in the description box down below. And another thing too, comment if you've read any of these books. Should I read those Christopher Moore books? I need to know, I really do. And also, I don't say this enough, I really appreciate you guys taking the time to watch my videos. It means so much to me, and when you leave a comment, like the video, and subscribe if you are not a subscriber. I have never really promoted myself here on the channel, and I was like, I need to start doing that. But honestly, I'm so grateful for this community and to talk books with you guys. I honestly have the most fun being on sprints and just engaging, and yeah, I love you guys. Have a great day, and I will see you on sprints this weekend for Halloweekend Part 3. Bye!